Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
This is Chuck Campbell with my co-host
Wayne Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
And we also have our engineer.
Yes.
Hey there, it's
Hey,
John Baker.
John Baker, yes. We usually work him in kind of in the middle when...
I just dance when you say dance.
All right, well, that's how it should be, right?
Dance, monkey.
You were the furthest away from a monkey.
Yeah, that'd probably be Wayne and I, the monkeys here. But Wayne, when we first talked about doing a podcast,
Right.
Obviously our main subject would probably be music, we thought, because we have both devoted quite a bit of our careers as music writers, music critics. But one thing that we've enjoyed talking about over the years as much or even more so than music is movies and shows.
And we've also in our jobs, we reviewed movies here
Yeah.
and there. We also wrote stories about movies.
Right.
So it's not like we didn't do that
We don't know
professionally.
what we're talking about, right? But
Right.
it's been a little bit more of a side venture for us
Yeah.
than music, and I think we enjoy that more because we're pretty simpatico when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
I mean, as people may have figured out, listening to us when it comes to music, we just kind of tolerate each other and stare at each other, and all that stuff. Not that we argue a lot, but
But I think we've introduced each other to different things that we both have liked.
Sure, yeah. Like I'll let you know who the pop music star du jour is, and you let me know some cool stuff that happened, when I was a kid, or before I was born, or before my parents were born, or before my grandparents were born.
I think I forced you to listen to the Drive-By Truckers, and I think you kind of like them.
I guess. Yes.
Yes. Well, at the time,
I
you
know
don't
I told you
remember
that.
because
No, I
you don't
didn't
retain it.
dislike them, so I must have liked them okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and I see you guys as like fire and ice, and my job is to be like lukewarm water. I stole that from Spinal Tap.
That neutralizes both of us, and that's probably what we need. But anyway, we thought we'd be talking about movies probably more than we have. I think we've only had one. We're over 20 episodes in here. We've only had one that the main topic was movies. So we're going to do another one. We did Christmas music already, or we've recorded that already. I don't know if that's where it is on the rotation to go up. But today we're going to talk about Christmas movies and
TV shows.
TV shows, yeah. So thinking about this, do you have any observations about it?
Well, we were talking before we went on the air just about how things that are now considered classics sometimes bombed when they came out.
Right.
I mean, my very favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life, and it was a bomb. It didn't do well when it came out. It really didn't take back off until it went in the public domain and television stations started showing it because they could show it for free.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it was like everybody's favorite Christmas movie.
Well, not everybody.
Not everybody's, but I'm saying
But it's a standard.
it became a classic.
Yeah, right.
Everybody loved it. No, I mean, you can't imagine that it didn't do well when it came out, but it didn't. And the same thing with A Christmas Story. Because John and I were talking about how we saw that in the theater when it came out. We thought it was the funniest movie ever.
1983.
Right.
When it came out. Yep.
And it did lousy at the theaters. Mm-hmm. And then they started showing it on television, and everybody thought, this is a great movie, which we knew already.
Okay. Well, it is a good movie.
Right.
I mean, we want to dive in because that's kind of on my list of something to talk about.
Go for it.
But and it'll bring up something else. But so I've broken mine down into little categories because that's how I live my life. And that's comedies, and then more of horror films, and then TV stuff, which is mainly animated stuff.
Right.
So I'm going to start with comedies then. And I have a story about A Christmas Story, and that is...
It's a Christmas story.
It's a Christmas story, yes. And when I was living in Florida, I think it was maybe my second year there, I did see my family usually around Christmas or before Christmas or after Christmas. I had said on one of the other episodes that I made a call to my family from South Africa one time, and it tore me up more than I expected because they were at home at Christmas. But that wasn't actually my first time alone from my family but living in Florida, from Tennessee, not that far away.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, but I had this day, I was working down there, and we got a $25 Christmas bonus. And I spent my big whopping $25 Christmas bonus on a bottle of Asti Spumante.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not much of a drinker, but I bought a bottle of Asti Spumante and some Godiva chocolates. And I had my I lived alone. I didn't have a roommate at that time.
Right.
And I didn't go home. And I didn't, there were people at work who were like, hey, why don't you have Christmas dinner with us? And, there's a loner inside of me that was like, I think I might enjoy being alone at Christmas. I want to give it a shot. Because Christmas kind of loses its sparkle, or it did for me when I went from a kid to an adult. And it's like, oh, now you're responsible for making other people happy. You're not just collecting gifts. So I went out on the beach and made myself some little vegetarian whatever, baked potato or whatever. Then I rolled my TV from my bedroom into the bathroom, and I went in there with my bottle of Asti Spumante and a warm bath and my chocolates, and they were playing a marathon of A Christmas Story. So it's just like repeating.
Yep, as they did.
I think they still do that.
Yep.
And so I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't drink all of the Asti Spumante.
This was your first time to see it?
No, I'd seen it before, but I don't know if I'd seen it all the way through before. I don't know if I'd seen it on cable before. I thought, oh, that's kind of weird, maybe funny. But I was going to give it a shot, and I just kept watching it. And I did enjoy it. And go ahead and talk about it, because I know you both, really enjoyed it.
Well, one of the interesting things about it is it's directed by Joe Clark, the guy that did Porky's. So nobody expected him to do a Christmas movie.
Right. Or a good movie.
Yeah, well, that too. But, that's what I was saying is like people just didn't get it when it came out. I mean, Gene Shepard wrote it, and Gene Shepard had a radio show back in the 50s through the 60s where he would just tell these tales, and that was one of the tales. It was called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash.
Okay.
And it's pretty much just exactly his story told. I mean, and he's the narrator in the movie. So that's his voice. That's the guy who wrote it that you're hearing. And, it's funny that they brought it up at that time because it was a story that happened in the 30s, the late 30s, like 39, I think, is when Wizard of Oz came out.
Right. Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, so it was like 39. But
is that why the teacher turned into like the Wicked Witch?
The Wicked Witch, and that's when they're in the department store. That's why everybody's dressed up like characters from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay,
because it happened the same year it came out. Yeah, so that's the history on that. And Gene Shepard was basically writing about his childhood.
Okay, and you both still enjoy it?
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
so many great characters and just
things
that you repeat constantly, like
it does.
He gets the leg lamp. It's a lady's leg and fishnet stockings.
Major prize.
And he thinks it is the most amazing prize that he's ever won, and his wife just thinks it's disgusting.
She hates it. She's embarrassed by it from the beginning. Yeah, it's good. It's a good study on the kids and Ralphie. That's the main kid, and how he just really wants this. The
red rifle,
Red Rider.
Red Rider be begun.
He'll shoot your eye out.
Right. I like
and he does.
Yeah, nearly.
Almost.
Well, I liked it. It was subversive, but it was also sweet, and there weren't any character like cardboard characters. Everybody was like, especially within the family, they all had some depth to them and everything, and I enjoyed that.
The family dynamic. I don't know if you ever watched Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh yeah. I love it.
The family dynamic reminds me of that. It's kind of snarky and snide, but they all love each other.
Right. Yep. Except Malcolm's mom. I mean, what a... you never wanted to cross her.
Hasn't had a warm meal since 1924, or whenever it was, whenever the kids were born. But, yeah, she could be rough, but, I mean, that was the thing, is she was like the glue that held it all together.
Right. Well...
Except for the leg.
Except for the leg.
No glue could completely fix that.
Lamps, right. Well, but in watching that, I haven't watched it much lately. I felt like, I don't know if I really burned out on it, but, it hits a little different now. But I'm not opposed to watching it,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to pretty much everything else that came out like in the 80s and 90s for me. All of that stuff. It's like, I don't want to see Home Alone again. I don't want to see the Santa Claus again.
No.
I don't want to see that Jim Carrey is the Grinch.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
And what, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
So, I don't know how to explain it, but I just kind of like moved on out of that realm of having all this fondness for movies from the 80s and 90s.
Well, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles holds up, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's
And
a
they're
Christmas.
trying to get home for Christmas.
Yeah,
aren't they?
he's trying to get home for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a Christmas movie. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think it holds up, and I think it's still hilarious.
I don't even remember it as well as just like the original Vacation.
Well, you can confuse. I mean, you can blend the two together a lot. But I mean,
I found that when I was looking over this, I found that it's all one big Christmas movie to me. It's like, oh wow, this was from a different movie, and so go ahead.
right? But that one's one. I mean, the Randy Quaid and his family,
Yeah.
come to visit.
Yeah.
And grandma's there, and like the squirrel gets in the tree, and the tree burns up, and
Okay.
it's got all that. It's
Forgot
got
about the squirrel.
it's got all sorts of cool elements. And the thing is, he's waiting on his Christmas bonus, and then he doesn't get the Christmas bonus.
Right. The original Vacation, they won a lottery, they won a game show or something, right?
No, they were going on vacation to something that's not
Wally
quite
World.
Disney World
No, it
or
was-
Disney.
But didn't they
Disneyland.
win that on a game show? I
They
thought
may have won
I
a
thought
pri-
one started with them on a game show.
I think that's
Maybe that's another movie.
European Vacation.
The European Vacation. Okay.
Yeah, because
I like that one.
yeah, but all three of those were funny.
Okay.
But I think Christmas Vacation, I think whatever it is I think it's the funniest of the three.
Okay. I'll have to be open to watching that again.
Yeah, it's one of those things that once I watched it again, I watched it when it came out, and I thought it was really funny, and then I didn't watch it for a few years, and it's like, no, this is really, really funny and a really good Christmas movie.
Well, also in the line of comedies, there were two that came out in 2003. And that was Elf with Will Ferrell.
Right.
And Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they came out in the same year, too, because it was like, those are two, to me, those are old. Those are like 21 years old. I wouldn't even think of myself as a Will Ferrell fan, but I actually do like him. And it's like, oh, I think this guy's funny. Elf is like sweeter than Bad Santa, and Bad Santa was much more subversive. But they were both kind of subversive, and they both had some elements of sweetness, not so much Bad Santa.
Right.
But and I thought those were both great, and they kind of were a rebound for me, and kind of a new era for me for Christmas movies, and that just may be me, but. So those are two of the old ones that I watch now.
The old ones.
The
I love
old
it how you
ones
say
I
that's
watch
the
now.
old ones. That's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about.
Well, let me keep coming newer then. I also liked from 2016 Office Christmas Party. Have you even heard of that one?
I haven't even heard that one.
It starred Jennifer Aniston, T.J. Miller, the comedian, Jason Bateman, Kate McKinnon. She's funny in this.
She's always funny.
But it's like this raunchy, wild, over-the-top, out-of-control Christmas party.
Now that you mention it, I think I did see that.
Yeah, and it's like I say, it's raunchy, and it's just crazy and loopy, and Jennifer Aniston and T.J. Miller are like brother and sister, and they're kind of fighting for control of the company. They have to make a sale, but then people are just like firing off in all different directions. They tackle a lot of like office politics and corporate culture, and it's just crazy too. It's just nutty. And it was just like 2016. I've only seen it a couple of times, but I definitely open to seeing that again. And then I tried with all my heart to get into one called Spirited, which came out in 2022. It was Will Ferrell and Ryan Gosling, and it was a Christmas Carol. Like so many things are based on Christmas Carol, which you're going to get into that, I think.
Right.
But like in the first 10 or 15 minutes, they had 3 original songs, and I was just so... There was clever dialogue before each of the songs, but the songs were just like, I can't do this. So I bailed on that one. That's Spirited.
Well,
but anyway, check out Office Christmas Party.
Well, when you're talking about songs, that's one of the things that really sells me on Christmas movies and TV shows. My second favorite Christmas movie of all time is Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. It's my favorite version of the Christmas Carol. It's Mr. Magoo, but the music is written by Julie Stein and Alan Merrill, who are Broadway writers.
That's animated, isn't it?
It's animated. It's all Mr. Magoo. You know, the old character with Jim Backus doing Mr. Magoo voice.
I don't remember music in that.
Yeah, it's got the best songs.
Okay.
It's got the best one. I mean, it's got all the greatest voice actors from that era. It's got Royal Dano and June Foray and different people like that, and all doing different voices. But when they're the Undertaker and the Charmaid, whatever she is, bring all of Scrooge's stuff in to the pawn shop or whatever, they have one of the greatest Christmas songs of all time.
Really?
And the big thing is the biggest thing is just it's la 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 la. It's really irritating, but so much fun.
Okay. I don't remember.
Well,
I remember Mr. Magoo, and I knew he had a Christmas, but I don't remember. Maybe I never saw it.
It's terrific, and it's very. It goes right along with the Christmas Carol really well, and it still keeps the Mr. Magoo character as Scrooge.
Is it an hour long or 30?
Yeah, it's an hour. Well,
Okay.
it's an hour with it would have had commercials back then, but you can see it.
40,
I know
4 minutes or whatever.
the whole thing's on YouTube. I know that.
Okay.
I bought a DVD copy from Amazon for like $7 or something when I bought it. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's got great music. The other one is, and it's another version of the Christmas Carol. There's like so many versions, but the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, the Muppet. Yeah, okay.
And that was my kid's favorite.
Okay.
And it's got great songs in it. We Need a Little Christmas, is the big one that everybody remembers. But you can't go wrong with the Muppets.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's great. And on that same subject, and this is something that my girlfriend Sarah introduced me to, and my friend Will Wright was going crazy about it. I didn't ever actually seen it, but Emmett Otter's Christmas Jug Band came out. I know it came out in I think 77 or something. It's way back there, but it's written by.
A Jug Band Christmas.
Well, it's a little otter who wants to win this talent contest and make some money so he can buy his mom Christmas present. Something.
Wow. Okay. That actually sounds.
How do otters know
interesting.
anything about money?
Oh, they know.
Well, you're going to have to watch the show now, aren't you, John?
They don't have pockets.
I would trust otters more than people in a lot of matters. So.
But it's really sweet, and it's done by the Jim Henson people. It's written by the same fellow.
Is it animated or is it puppets or?
It's puppets.
Okay.
But it's written by the same guy who did a bunch of great children's books. I think his name's Garth Hoban. He did the Frances series. She's a little badger.
Okay.
A little badger who learns all sorts of lessons. Yeah, I'm making it all. I did mushrooms last night, so I'm just I'm just riffing on here. No, I haven't done mushrooms in a long time, but they last. But no, the Emmett Otter Christmas Jug Band is fun, and couldn't get my grandson to watch it a couple of years ago, but we're gonna try it again.
Okay.
But we were on the subject of the Christmas Carol things. There's been so many different ones, but those two are my favorites. And then there's also the George C. Scott version. I think that came out in the early 80s or late 70s. And I think it was made for TV, and it was just George C. Scott as Scrooge, and it's a really good one. And then there's Bill Murray with Scrooged.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that one either.
I like that one. That one's got Buster Poindexter in it, so it's, that adds
that
fun.
helps.
He's the cab driver.
I mean...
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember it, but it's kind of like Bill Murray and Chevy Chase and some of these guys. They don't seem that funny to me anymore, but
Bill Murray still is funny to me. Chevy Chase he's a hard sell these days.
Yeah.
We all know what
he
a
is.
jerk he is, apparently.
I love Foul Play with
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. That's my favorite Chevy Chase movie, but it's not a Christmas movie, so
We can't talk about that.
So we can't talk about it. I will file that away. Okay. You want me to go on to horror films?
Horror films. Well, before we go
Okay.
into horror films, because I want to add some stuff on horror
I think
films,
you've got
too.
more notes than I do this time. I think this is the first time ever.
And he just wrote those
And he
right
just-
when he
yeah,
walked
he
in the
just-
door,
That's
He
because I
just
left
jotted it all down, you know.
out of his gigantic brain.
the gigantic brain. Well, I'll wait on the ones that are specifically made for TV.
Yeah, me too. I'll do that last.
But, there's The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yep.
which also has great music.
Yeah.
Maybe, I should have put that in favorite Christmas songs because it's got terrific stuff in it.
That's a Tim Burton movie.
Tim Burton.
Any
Kidnap
Tim
the
Burton
Sandy
movie's great.
Claus.
Yeah, and Winona Ryder and Johnny Depp, and it's one of those kind of teary at the end ones, but it's really sweet. I really like it a lot, and the music for it, even though it's not specifically Christmas music, they steal it all the time. When I interviewed Danny Elfman, he was telling me how he felt ripped off every Christmas season because they would take the basis of his music for Edward Scissorhands and put it in all sorts of commercials.
I feel like it was more of a Halloween movie, but it's about Christmas and Santa, so it's really a dual purpose kind of.
Well, but he wrote the Jack Skellington for Halloween.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's like the people from Halloween Town or something, and then they go.
They decide to do
into
Christmas.
and they kidnap Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just loads of fun. But yeah, you can watch it either on you can watch it from Halloween all the way to Christmas. It'll work.
That's
any of those
crafty. That
times.
is great business right
It is.
there when you can bring those two together.
Yeah. So anyway, that's another one of my favorite ones. But I don't always watch it at Christmas. I just really like it a whole lot.
Right.
And then, the most recent one, which came out right at the end of the pandemic, is The Holdovers, which was nominated for Best Picture. Paul Giamatti. He's a teacher at a prep school.
Forgot about that. I didn't see that one.
Oh, man, it's really good. It's made in the style of a 1970s movie. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it. They get the film stock that looks like, I guess they actually did it on film. It looks like it was filmed in the 70s.
What was one of the most promising things to me about it, from what I remember the reviews, it was like, this is better than you think it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Like critic after critic was saying, this is way better than you think it'll be. Don't assume anything.
Well, they made a trailer that looked like a 1970s movie trailer.
Right.
And you don't really get the gist of it from that trailer. And it's really good. It's really touching. And it's...
so it's not just misfits or stuck together at Christmas and everyone else has gone home.
It is kind of, but there's something to it. I mean, Paul Giamatti is not likable.
No, he usually
He's
isn't.
good in everything, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case where you really, you don't really know that you like anybody in this, and you get so that you like them. And people do eventually take up for each other and look after each other. And it's really sweet with a real sarcastic start. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's got that whole Christmas kind of spirit feel to it, even though it's not a Christmas movie. It takes place at Christmas over the Christmas holidays.
So you're looking for a little sweetness and a little sour.
Yeah, and it's got...
That'd be a good holiday movie for you.
Yeah, and it develops the characters a lot more than you think it's going to.
Yeah.
And everybody has more depth. And that's the thing that sells me on a movie, is when you feel like the characters have more depth and you want to spend more time with them than you are.
I think that's the thing with A Christmas Story. Why, for me, it's held up over all the other movies that came out around then or even later because of the character development, because you cared about kind of everybody and not just one character.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think it's a great movie that people should see if they've never seen it. It's like those people said, it's better than you think it's going to be. I mean,
Right. That's always the key thing when I see multiple critics say, "Oh, this is better than I thought it was going to be." It's like, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, you'd like it. I feel certain you would. Also, I want to bring up. Well, that kind of fits into. Those kind of fit into horror, other than Die Hard, which I was not. I never saw it all the way through until my son-in-law loves it, and we went to see it last Christmas at Central Cinema, this little theater here in Knoxville, and it was fun. It was fun to see it at Christmas. You kind of feel it a little bit.
Yeah, that was kind of vintage Bruce Willis too.
Yeah, I mean everybody in it is good.
Yeah. Who was the bad guy again?
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. Yes, he was such a bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's evil as all get out and so much fun.
I like him when they're so bad that you're just like hanging on every word and every look and all that
Deliciously bad.
stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
You ready?
I am ready. I'm going to go to horror and action.
Okay.
I want to start with Black Christmas from 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Not the 1974 one with whoever, from Superman.
Christopher Reeve.
No, the woman.
Margot Kidder?
Margot Kidder, yes. So it's about a sorority. And then the 2019 one is also about a sorority. It's kind of stuck at Christmas. And then they've got like a stalker killer and they're stuck on campus. And they're trying to, it's a big mystery to solve and everything. The cool thing about it is, one, there's like real like cutting lines and everything. And it's like the frat boys and the sorority girls. It's mainly focused on the sorority girls. But it's got a real feminist kind of message too. And like one of the sorority girls, young women, had been raped and it was never solved. No one was ever prosecuted for it or anything like that. Doesn't sound like the thing you're going to want to sit in for Christmas. But as a horror film, it's like really intense and it's got some twists in it. And I remember watching it with zero expectations. I think I was at the beach or something and it was showing and we went and it was like, wow, that was more fun than I thought.
Better than you thought it would be.
It was better than you thought. Yeah, that's what I would have written if I had written a review on that one. But again, that was 2019, not the 1974 version.
I haven't seen the 1974 version. I can't remember it anyway.
It's Black Christmas.
Black Christmas, yeah. That's a feminist slasher Christmas movie.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, how can you go wrong? With twists and all that stuff. And then this one got kind of mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it. And this was the 2015 Krampus. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but it had Toni Collette and Adam Scott were in it. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
they can't do any wrong.
Can't do any wrong. And David Koechner, the guy from, what was it, The Daily Show? Wasn't he on The Daily Show for a while? And,
yeah, he's always, he was in the, oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the movie that he was really prominent in about it. Thank You for Smoking.
Okay, yeah. But, so, you know, on Krampus, this 2015 version of Krampus, there's a bunch of Krampuses out there. Mm-hmm. It's this family that they're kind of, it's in suburbia, and everybody's, you know, comfortably well off, not super wealthy or anything. And they're a bunch of kids, and they have all come together, and they're kind of snowbound in this neighborhood, and the power goes out. And for some reason, they have Krampus in their house, and they're trying to figure it out and all this stuff. And this Krampus is, you know, Krampus is like
the Antichrist
of Santas or whatever. And this one is almost like a Jeepers Creepers type.
Oh, wow.
And like real creepy. And, you know, so this squabbling family, they're fighting all the time. They have to, like, pull together and fight off this really hideous, you know, monster in the house. So, it's got the Christmas unity for the family, I guess. But it's really a pretty good horror film, too. And it didn't hit well. I think there was a lot more dialogue, and they developed, you know, Toni Collette and
right.
Adam Scott, you know, they were developing the characters more than maybe some people had patience for. But I think it worked really well. And then my last horror action here from 2022. It's called Violent Night. Have you seen this one?
I saw the previews and I wanted to see it and I never got to see it. Did you see it?
Nope.
Well, this one is great. This was, again, it was just a couple of years ago, 2022. David Harbour plays Santa Claus. And he's this real burnout. You know, as you can imagine, if you've had the same job and you're middle-aged, late middle-age, and you're kind of over everything. And so he's, you know, a drinker and a skeptic and just a surly guy. And he ends up at this house. And he does have some magic. He doesn't have, like, great magic, but he can transport and stuff like that. And he does have some magic and ends up abandoned by his reindeer at this, like, retreat, like this wealthy person's retreat. And you've got Beverly D'Angelo is the matriarch of this family, which is interesting when you think of her from Chevy Chase and the Christmas movie. She is a ball buster. I mean, she is such a badass and everything, and everybody wants her money. She's got a daughter and a son, and the daughter has a snarky husband, and they have like a teenage boy who's an influencer. And then the son has split from his wife, but she's come with them, but they've got their differences and everything. And they have this little girl who's like the angel of the movie. And they have all these servants there, but then they've also catered all these people to serve them that they don't know. And what's going on is John Leguizamo has like staged this home invasion to hold this family hostage and like take their money. She's got a vault. The D'Angelo character has a vault with millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. So he's like disrupted everything. So you've got squabbling family. You've got the servants who are like being killed off. And then you get these home invaders who are like the would-be caterers, and you got Leguizamo there. And it just so happens Santa's also there, but he's like off in an attic or something. And he bonds with the little sweet girl on a walkie-talkie, and he starts coming into it. She kind of brings his spirit back and all. But it's called Violent Night because it is absurdly violent. It's like over-the-top violence, and like really just a lot of fisticuffs kind of violence, not, crazy weaponry and stuff. And, I get over, watching fighting and stuff like that in movies, but this was just hilarious. And I mean, and Santa just gets the crap beat out of him. But, he keeps fighting and everybody, anyway, really good, really engaging, very subversive, but it does have, every movie has to have a little sweet line in it at Christmas, and it's him and the girl, the isolated girl whose parents are not getting along well. So Violent Night, not Silent Night. And there may be 100 movies called Silent Night. I looked that up.
I'm sure.
I remember, and it's just like movie after movie after, like every year I think there's a Silent Night that comes out, and I can't vouch for any of them. I don't know if any of them
I have to correct myself. I said Joe Clark corrected A Christmas Story. It's Bob Clark. Well, I was sitting here, I had to look it up and make sure. I thought, that's not right. It's Bob Clark.
Okay. All
but
right.
he did. Yeah, he directed Porky's too. Well, I would add to that The Silent Partner, which I think I talked about a while back, which is about 1977 or so, someplace in the late 70s. Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer.
I would have guessed 70s.
Yes, well.
Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer.
Yeah. It may have been 80s. I can't remember. It may have been an early part of the 80s. But anyway, Elliot Gould, cashier, recognizes that the mall Santa is actually going to rob the bank, and
Yep. I remember you talking about that.
Horror ensues, and it's a lot of fun if you like that kind of thing, which I do. And then I believe I mentioned it at some point in the past, Rare Exports, which is an excavation in Finland, and digging up, they find the grave of the real Santa Claus, who is actually a monster.
Oh, okay.
And it's really scary.
So he's real, but he's dead, and he's a monster.
He's revived, and he's a monster, yes. And it's a lot of fun. And
now, that's a different movie. What is that one?
That one's called Rare Exports.
Okay.
And it's, like I said, it's Finnish, and it got rated R because there's male nudity in it. There's a bunch of old men at the end of it who are walking around naked. Nobody wants to see that.
Does that count as male nudity?
It's not. There's
something you don't want to see.
Yeah, there's nothing titillating about this, but it's still got it an R rating.
Okay.
Which I don't think there's any profanity. I don't think there's no sex. Wow. There's no nothing. There's some scares in it.
Right. Okay.
Plenty of scares, but it's a lot of fun. And then, and I am going back here, Chuck, to 1972, Tales from the Crypt, the movie.
Was that 72?
This one was.
Okay. I'd never heard of it before the HBO show.
Well, Tales from the Crypt is based on a 1950s EC Comics comic book.
Okay.
Which caused Congress to go ape because they were so disturbed by all the horror that children were being given, and it's like it was the Great Scary Comics. It was Tales from the Crypt, the Vault of Horror. There was a bunch of them that EC Comics put out, and they closed them down because of public pressure after these congressional hearings. But they remained legendary because of the storytelling and the artwork. And so in 1972, they decide to make a movie based on stories from the Tales from the Crypt Vault of Horror comics.
Okay.
And this one has Joan Collins. It's the first episode. I think there's 4 or 5 stories in this. But the first one is a Christmas story.
Okay.
Where Joan Collins has murdered her husband.
Oh, good.
Like you do at Christmas.
Like you do at Christmas.
Especially Joan Collins.
And she's got a daughter who's here in the house, but of course doesn't know that her mother has murdered Dad. And while she's trying to figure out how to get rid of the body, there's a report over the radio that this maniac, deranged killer has escaped the criminal asylum and is on the loose. And he's outside her house dressed as Santa Claus. And she can't call the cops because she's murdered her husband, but she has to keep him out.
So are you pulling for her, or are you pulling for the psychotic?
You're kind of, the little girl complicates things, because you've got the little girl in there and you're worried about the little girl.
Right.
And the maniac is outside.
Right. And
Joan Collins knows he's outside, but she can't do anything about it other than lock the doors. And it's really scary and really fun. And that episode only lasts maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
20, 30 minutes at most.
I like the small, easily digestible Christmas things.
Yeah, and the rest of it doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, but that one starts out with Christmas because it's at Christmas time and the maniac is dressed as Santa Claus.
Right.
And
Santa Claus is kind of scary. Were you guys like? Did you like Santa's, like department store Santas, or?
Well,
I never really wanted to talk.
Chuck, those are Santa's helpers. Those aren't really Santa Claus.
I know.
Those are just his helpers.
I know.
His helpers drink a little. Sometimes they smell a little bad. Sometimes they smell like alcohol, but they're just his helpers, Chuck.
I discovered my mom was a Santa's helper when I was little. I had 2 much older sisters. And one Christmas we went down, and it was all these toys for me all around the tree. And then bra and panty sets for my sisters on the couch.
They were so excited.
And my sister looked at my mom and said, "Thanks a lot." And I thought, my sisters were so bad, they were on Santa's naughty list, so my mom tried to make up for them by giving them bra and panty sets. So,
Did you get bra and panty sets?
I never got a bra and panty set, but I had real stuff from the real Santa. So, anyway.
I don't really remember believing in Santa Claus, even though he may exist.
I stopped believing in Santa in the first grade when, I really started thinking about things. But,
Well, you're not supposed to think. I had a friend whose parents never had a conversation with him about Santa, and they were still giving him stuff in high school.
Wow.
So
reminds me of that movie you recommended earlier this year, Thumbsucker.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked him.
That could have worked.
Are you ever going to talk with him? He goes, "Why would I talk with him? This is like stuff. I get stuff." It's kind of disturbing.
Well, those are my horror suggestions. I will throw in something that they always show at Turner Classic Movies every year that I find the most weird choice that they do. It's The Apartment from 1960.
Okay.
It's a fun Christmas movie about adultery and suicide and,
fun.
Shirley MacLaine, Fred McMurray, Jack Lemmon.
Okay.
It's kind of a sweet ending, but it's like you're going through this, it's like, God almighty, this is depressing. This is horrible.
Do they all live together or something? Or
no, The Apartment is where Fred McMurray, who's like the guy who owns the business or the CEO of the business, that's where he has his affairs.
Oh, okay.
And
Love Shack.
Yeah, and Shirley MacLaine is one of his affairs, and she's like this kind of innocent, sweet, ditzy secretary.
She never changed.
No. But I mean, I think it won Best Picture when the year came out. The Apartment.
From
I think
1960.
it was definitely nominated if it didn't win. It actually, To Kill a Mockingbird might have won that year. But anyway, it's a great movie. But boy, it sure is depressing to watch at Christmas. I'd be watching Turner Classic Movies, wrapping presents in the middle of the night, and like, good God, why did I decide to watch this?
What do you do with? Everything's changed so much over the years, and I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but like Christmas traditions, and do you wrap presents and watch movies now, or I often, the only time I make for Christmas movies now tends to be when we're going to go to a movie, know, and not so much what's on TV, unless it's like the little short bites. But
well, I still try to watch It's a Wonderful Life every year.
Okay.
and it's the only one that I feel like slighted if I don't watch.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the thing with Christmas is you're trying to capture that feeling that you had when you were a little kid.
I know.
And I don't think it's hard to capture it as an adult. And it gets
very
harder
hard.
every year.
I mean, you go from being the benefactor of everything when you're a kid to
the
person
party.
who has to not disappoint anybody
Yeah.
and fulfill all the obligations and get extra work done to take any time off.
Yeah.
And and most of all, you want to make kids happy, and you might get slighted year after year after year.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I'm not a big Christmas fan because to me it's just so stressful.
It is stressful.
And
it really is.
of course, I was a single dad for a lot of my kids' lives. My
Right.
kids were 4, 8, and 14 when my wife died. 13
That's a lot
rather,
of pressure
13, not 14. So yeah, I mean, I was like gathering everything and going crazy, and then still trying to buy for adult family members too. So I finally just said, to the adults, let's not exchange.
Right.
Let's just focus on the kids, and that made
Right.
it a lot easier.
It makes a lot of difference when you scale that list back.
Yeah.
But
But kids are so pulled in so many directions right now that I don't think they all have the same Christmas movie and Christmas tradition feelings like we did, because there's so many options still to distract them.
Right.
And I think my kids always liked watching the Muppet Christmas Carol. We always watch, and we're about to get into TV stuff, Charlie Brown Christmas. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, I don't know that they really wanted. My daughter hates It's a Wonderful Life. Her husband loves it.
I don't like it either.
You and my daughter, you're so similar in so many ways. You're going to get.
She's dead on there.
She says he's a jerk.
Yeah. Well, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I just can't ride it out. And I guess seeing, looking back at how my life's changed and everything, those things just don't mean the same. It's like, I don't know.
My favorite Christmas memory of when I was a kid is I had an older sister who's 4.5 years older than me. One year she decided, we're going to stay up and we're going to watch Santa Claus. We're going to see him.
Oh, okay.
And of course, she was just playing along because I was a little kid. But we put on disguises. And someplace there's a picture, I think. But we put on disguises and we hid under the piano bench.
Oh, wow.
Waiting for Santa. And of course, eventually I went to sleep and all that.
And then she woke you up and said, you missed it.
Yeah, but I tell you, my daughter, she put a video camera. We had video cameras. She put a video camera.
Paranormal Activity.
Hid it behind some cushions on the couch.
Okay. And you didn't know that she did this?
I didn't know she did it.
Wow, crafty.
And luckily, one of the cushions fell in front of the camera lens.
Right.
So she got nothing.
Right.
But
Would have
man,
been surprised at how much Santa looked like Dad.
that's right.
Yeah.
As Buck Owens said, Santa looked a lot like Daddy.
Well, I hear Santa manifests looking like one of the parents, so that if a child sees him
The way
or
they
her
need to see.
late at night, they won't be alarmed or scared. They think, oh, okay, this is Santa as my father, as my mother. So, but they don't teach you that when you're young because they don't want people. Some kids are afraid of Santa.
That's right. Well, the best Christmas I think my kids ever had was, and it was like a warm Christmas. It was like 70 degrees at night on Christmas Eve, and luckily we had a trampoline to put together.
Okay.
So we're out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You do that
You can't do that till the kids go to bed. So it's
Right.
2 o'clock in the morning, and we're putting together a trampoline. But thankfully, it's warm, and we're not freezing to death.
Right.
And, the kids open all their presents. And then one of them, I think it was Andrew, my oldest, I think, looked out the window and said, we got a trampoline! It was like the best thing.
How long did it stay up? I mean, did they use it a lot?
Oh, my gosh. I just took it down like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It dry rotted finally. But, yeah, my knees still haven't recuperated from jumping on it with them.
I had a friend in school named Debbie, and she had a big scar on her elbow, and it was from having a trampoline accident and her bone going through her skin. And I sat behind her, and I stared at that bone all the time, and I thought, I'm not going to get on the trampoline.
God. Oh, my whole body hurts. All right, you got TV specials. That's what you were going to go.
Yeah, I was getting to that. Do you have any movies that you wanted to talk about?
Y'all have already discussed them.
Okay, all right.
Well, before we go, what is your favorite? Before we move on, what's your favorite Christmas movie, John?
Probably A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's so sweet, and the characters are great, and there's just so many memorable lines in it.
I'll have to watch it again. I did overload on it because it was every year they had a marathon. I think there were times when some cable channels were just playing it, not just for a day, but like for a month, just that movie.
I think they did it for a week on some of them. Yeah, it's nuts.
Like, oh God, I can't, do this anymore. But I haven't watched it in a while. I probably would enjoy it more now. But I'm not going back to a bunch of those others because
you need to take a break from a lot of them.
Yeah. So. And like I say, I'll go to the theater and then I'll see a good one, and then a couple of years later I'll get a chance to see it again, and that works for me. But this is a good lead-in to the animated. One thing that's held true my whole life is A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Great.
I can't not watch that,
And the music is just...
Vince Guaraldi.
Vince Guaraldi is just so good.
The music is great, and I have the soundtrack, so I listen to it in my car. I always listen to it. John Carpenter's Halloween soundtrack at Halloween. I always listen to Charlie Brown Christmas. Maybe no other CDs, maybe a couple, but that's just one I have to listen to. And it does. It's the only thing from then that takes me back to childhood.
Wow. And
what I remember, too, so much about it is the Peanuts characters were so great because they're all just messed up adults, they're all either anxiety, they're anxious or they're neurotic or they're narcissistic. They all have just really intense, complicated problems with their personalities. And I always thought it was funny as a kid, and I recognized it, but just that the things that they always said were stuff like "good grief" and "rats," and so it's just like, it always struck me as funny that these little kids were sounding like, middle-aged burnouts. So I appreciate that, and I always loved Snoopy. I just did. I loved him mocking Lucy, and I loved the play and the dancing and the trees, and they shopping for all the trees in the big artificial forest. And it's funny because it's so old-fashioned in so many ways, but it just kind of predicted where we were going, and how everybody was like a mercenary. Sally wanted all cash, and who was it? Was it Sally that wanted real estate too? I think. And
seems like it.
It just. I think it was well done, and all the other animated ones. I don't, like Frosty and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I'll stand up for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, even though it's too long.
Yeah, I'm okay with Grinch. All right,
Mm-hmm.
That had good music and everything.
And Dr. Seuss, the artwork is great.
Yeah.
And it's Chuck,
the dog, the Grinch's
the
dog.
dog. Yeah.
He'll always get me every time.
And
my
that's
favorite character.
Yeah, I mean that is even though the Dr. Seuss book is great, I think that the television show's better. I mean, Chuck Jones, the guy who did Bugs Bunny, he's the guy. Well, he didn't create Bugs Bunny, but he did a bunch of the Looney Tunes in the kind of one of the golden ages. He animated it, and then Boris Karloff.
Yeah,
Boris Karloff, narrates it and is the voice of the Grinch. I mean, how can you get better than that?
Right. Well done. But again, Charlie Brown Christmas is the one that I always watch every year.
Which one was the stop motion? Was that Frosty?
That was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Jack Frost, Frosty the Snowman.
Was there a Gumby Christmas?
I think there was a Gumby Christmas too. Yeah.
And that was claymation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Robert McCroskey, I think, is the guy that was an animator.
I still don't know what
that.
graphic blandishment is, but
I tell
they
you,
always get a
there.
credit at the end of Peanuts. It's like, but as far as other television things go, I am a fan of Family Guy and American Dad, and a lot of shows have great Christmas episodes and everything. And I've kind of, I've grown out of The Simpsons, I've grown out of South Park and all these others, but Seth MacFarlane, I like him. I like both of those shows. They're really pretty different from each other. He's really into music. He's a singer himself, a crooner. And both American Dad and Family Guy have maybe a dozen Christmas episodes each. And so some of them are just like, oh, it's just another show and it happened to be at Christmas. But they do a lot of takes. I'll do American Dad first. Season 2, Lisa Kudrow. It's the Christmas Carol. And Lisa Kudrow is the ghost of Christmas past. And she's also a lawyer, and she's very inept, and Stan is on trial. Anyway, she's funny. That's season 2. Season 13, Roger, the alien from American Dad, somehow flips it so Hanukkah becomes the big holiday and Christmas is downsized. So everybody embraces Hanukkah, and he's like the Schmanta Claus or something like that. And of course, he's evil, so he turns it bad. But I think the best of American Dad Christmas ones of the 12, and I think it's about 12, is one called Rapture, Armageddon Rapture. And so it's a little more thought out than the others. And it starts with Rapture, and they're at church, and Stan and Francine, the main couple, they're having sex in the church during the rapture. When they come out, they miss the rapture. So, and they're trying to find their way to their kids were raptured and everything like that. And it ends up progressing to Francine ends up being Jesus's girlfriend in the Armageddon, and it turns into like this bit. And Stan, her husband's like this big burnout, and it turns out into this Mad Max kind of epic story where Jesus and Stan get together to try to save Francine. But that's American Dad. Family Guy. The first one was season 3 when Lois goes crazy. That was kind of typical. Season 11 is pretty subversive. If you're sensitive about the Bible and everything, you don't want to see it. But if you see holes in the logistics of the Bible and all this stuff, it's pretty funny because they're just always talking about, just all these horrible things that happen in the Bible. They were just talking about them matter of factly. It's like back in Jesus's time, and then even more subversive. Season 18, Meg, the daughter in the Family Guy, she learns that she has her first orgasm on Santa's lap. So, and they catch a picture, and she makes Santa bounce his leg, and she's up there with Stewie, and she gets this big grin, Grinch-like grin on her face when they snap the picture of her on Santa's lap. And then she's frantically going through the city, going to every mall and every Santa and jumping on, and so she becomes addicted to being. And when she has this epiphany, she also sees Jimmy Connors, the tennis player, at a match, and he's got his little shorts on, he's rousing up the crowd, and then Jimmy Connors has a guest appearance at the end. He goes, yes, this is every woman's first experiences. They see me courtside, but they never see me again. So that was really subversive. But the best Family Guy was an hour-long episode. All the rest of these were half hours, and it was let me see. I've got it here. Season 9, and it was The Road to the North Pole. Fantastic. It's got original music, original songs, and Stewie and Brian, the baby and the dog, they go looking for Santa, and Stewie makes Brian drive all the way to the North Pole. And at the North Pole, the elves are all inbred, and they're all falling apart and depressed. Santa is complete burnout because Christmas has just become too much for him to keep up with anymore. The reindeer are like these rabid zombies. So Stewie and Brian decide that they're going to do Santa's route for him because Santa gets really sick too. So they go on Santa's route, and the very first house they stop at, everything goes wrong. They make all kinds of mistakes, and they end up, I guess, killing the dad and beating the mom and tying up the little girl. And then they discovered the little boy they were going to give a baseball bat to. They were at the wrong house. So they were an hour and a half at the first house they stopped at and destroyed this family. So anyway, and it has a happy ending, but it has great original music. And I really enjoy that. And that's the thing, like I say, there's so many episodes from both of those shows. I could just sit and let those, and they're easy. The single episode ones are 20, 21 minutes long. And that's about all I've got.
Well, this is like South Park.
Right.
South Park always has a Christmas special.
Right.
And the one that stands out to me is the Woodland Critter Christmas, which, all those things you mentioned that are offensive, it has at least as many offensive things and throws abortion in as well.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable, and it ends with like an orgy.
Okay.
In blood.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, it's like it is one of the most wonderfully offensive.
Right.
I can hear the sleigh bells now.
Oh my gosh,
I should go get my sleigh bells.
it's beyond the pale. I mean, if you hate Christmas, it is one to watch because it is like it skewers everything.
Wow.
You can count on South Park for that kind of thing.
You
Yeah,
can.
I feel like I've seen this one. I've seen some of the South Park ones.
Oh my gosh, it is beyond the pale as far as I
The
watched
things
it.
you can get away with in animated
Oh yeah.
television
Yeah.
that you could never do with live actors.
No.
But the
no,
whole
no.
time I watched it, I was just shaking my head and laughing, like I cannot believe I'm watching this. I can't believe
Right.
this is on television. But
I don't know if some of these things would be on television new now.
they probably wouldn't. No, they probably
So-
wouldn't make them now.
Right.
But out all of them, of course, Mr. Hankey is in other South Park episode Christmas shows. But and he's really funny too, and really gross. But that's the one I would point out. If
But
you
he's a
want,
likable character.
he is a likable character. But some other things. There's we go back to Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone had a couple of really good Christmas ones, including one called The Meek, where Art Carney plays a guy who winds up with a bag, and every time he reaches in, he pulls out something like a gift for a kid that's what they want, and it's really sweet and really nice. And there's also 1988 Christmas at Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Oh, I never saw that.
And it's loads of fun.
Was this when Pee Wee's Playhouse was on?
Was on.
Okay.
And it has all the Pee Wee characters, and then there's lots of little guests that come out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you like Pee Wee Herman, it does not disappoint.
Okay.
And it's sweet. It's Pee Wee's always sarcastic.
Right.
And there's always an edge
He's
to
always
it.
got sweet characters around him, though.
Yeah, and beneath it all, and everything that he does is like kind of an acceptance and a likability.
Right.
He's kind of he seems like a little selfish kid,
Yes.
and that's part of what the charm is.
Right.
He thinks like a kid thinks.
Right.
So, but anyway, I think I can recommend that. And this is one that's lost that came out in that period of time. I haven't seen any references to it. I was looking it up, and I just found that it was out there. But there was a TV special, didn't get a whole lot of press at the time, but it's Olive the Other Reindeer,
Oh.
which was
Okay.
based on a little book. I think Drew Barrymore does the voice. She was behind it somehow. But it's about a dog that wants to be a reindeer.
Oh.
And misheard the words all of the other reindeer and is looking
Oh.
for Olive the other reindeer.
Okay. Wow. I've never seen or heard of that. Is that
It's-
like a 30-minute? Or
Yeah, it's like a little 30-minute special, and
Okay.
it's a lot of fun. It's real sweet. It's
Is it animated?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
animated. It's
And you say it's like from the 80s or 90s?
Yeah.
Or where? Okay.
and it's one of those things where you have to look it up and try to find it. I don't know where it is because, like I said, it just seems to have disappeared. But I remember when it came out, and it was fun.
Okay.
So
You got any Christmas?
I'll just clue you into my favorite Christmas tradition that I observe every
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Ever
Okay.
since I've lived in Knoxville, and that is on Christmas Day, me and several of my cyclist friends go and ride all the parking garages downtown.
oh, that's
wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Because there's no cars in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Downtown is deserted.
Oh, that's cool.
And it is so much fun.
I love it. Well, I used to deliver the paper. There was one year where I delivered the paper before I started writing, before I went back to editorial. And I delivered the paper on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And it was just so wild to be the only thing on the street.
Right.
Yeah.
If you passed another vehicle, it was generally another paper truck.
Right.
And it's cool to go downtown or go someplace where it's like everybody's in their house, nobody's out.
Yeah.
That when I lived on the beach, I walked on the beach all the time, and at Christmas I was down way away from the tourists. I was down, condo and houses area, and that beach was just mine, And it was like to go out on Christmas, because most people who lived around there, I was like 40 years younger than all of the other people, but to just go out on the beach, and it was just like my private beach, and everything. I loved that. I mean, it was like the loner in me like that. But other traditions I have are like trying to convince myself I like fruitcake.
Don't force yourself to that.
Trying to convince myself
Nobody
I like
likes
eggnog.
fruitcake.
Yeah.
Well, in my parking garage, we have races. And
Oh,
there's,
wow.
Oh,
there's
wow.
several different ones. One of the ones that is a favorite is the UT Campus Spiral of Death race.
Okay.
And it goes around Thompson Bowling Arena, and you start on
Oh,
the parking lot up near Andy Holt Tower, and you go down to one end of the stadium, and there's a circular down, and then race across the front, and then circular up, and you do 2 laps of that, and it just wipes you out.
Wow.
But I had fear, this was back before Pat Summitt passed away, but I just had a fear that I was going to come screaming around the corner, and she was going to walk out of a door, and I was going to clean her out. They would bury me.
Yeah,
in the
that's the
jail.
one thing that happens to UT is that sometimes there's like a Christmas tournament, a Christmas game, basketball.
Oh man.
But anyway.
Yeah, but that's one of the cool things about Christmas is how quiet it is.
Yeah.
Because I always
it's either really noisy or very quiet.
Yep, and I always go out on Christmas Eve and stand outside just for a few minutes about 2 a.m. because I'm always up wrapping packages still, just to hear how quiet it is. Because I can hear the interstate.
In the wintertime, there's no bugs, there's no birds, there's nothing.
Yeah.
And you can't hear. Because the interstate's not too far from my house. If a car comes down, boy, you hear that one car.
Right. I go out on the dock every Christmas around midnight, Christmas Eve around midnight.
Yeah.
And all you hear, if there's a breeze or something, you'll hear the waves, on the dock. But otherwise, no birds, or anything like that. Plus, it's in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
No people.
In the winter, the sky is so clear, you can see millions of stars.
Yeah, and you just look at the stars. But I also like to go. I like to go to the mall on Christmas Eve, like with less than an hour before they close. Not because I'm buying anything, but just to look at the panic. And it's changed over the years because people, they don't crowd it up. But it used to be like 10 years ago or so, it'd be like 90% men. Because men have put everything off, and they're just going to do it in one fell swoop at the very end. And it's like the heaviest male ratio in the mall probably all year long. But like I say, it's changed a lot now, and it seems like other people are, if they're there, they're just there to eat and have a coffee or whatever. So it's not as panicked as it was. But I would get off work because we'd be off on Christmas. I would bolt to the mall, and I always get there with less than an hour before they close. And I just like run through. I don't know if I've ever bought anything when I do it, but I just like being in the middle of everything and then being at home, just a few hours later and down on the dock. So. Yep. Ho, 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 and happy New Year.
Isn't that funny? Now that you get old, it's like, I just want to be alone at Christmas. I just want everything quiet.
Yeah. I'm just going to watch Meg bounce on Santa's lap and go on to sleep. Okay, well, do we want to stick with movies while do our How We Saw It now? And then music?
Okay, you go first because I haven't really thought about what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to talk about Triangle of Sadness, which came out. Did you see that?
Yes.
Came out in 2022.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Picture somehow. I'm sure it was the last one that got in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty divisive and polarizing and everything. It was a black comedy. And the only person I can remember in it is Woody Harrelson was like the ship's captain.
Who was Marxist.
Yes. Well, it was a real indictment on politics and the wealthy, it's like a real big social commentary on the wealthy, plus like influencers who were caught up in their own lives. And it was really gross at times and like just vomiting and these people on the ship who are these elite people, and then they can't stop throwing up. And then it becomes almost like a Survivor movie, because they end up, not to give too much away, but a lot of the movie is after this, is they end up shipwrecked. And there's like a jockeying for position. Somehow there's a love triangle in the middle of it. It was just really weird and absurdist. And I kind of liked it because it was so different.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
know a lot of people didn't. One of my best friends hated it, and I didn't want to tell him that I saw it and kind of liked it.
I liked it. I mean, I was a little disappointed in parts, in elements of it,
Right.
but
It just kept going somewhere new, though. As
It did.
went along.
Yeah, and you didn't know, you did not know where that end was going to go.
Right. Right.
But I love the Woody Harrelson character,
Right. Yeah.
and he was the thing that really kind of glued it
He was
together
the
for
glue.
me.
Yeah, everybody else was just flaky and weird, but and he was like trying to pander. Oh, there was like the woman. What was it? She insisted that they pull the drapes or something like that, and he gets take the sails off the ship, and he was like saying, "We don't have sails," and she said, "Don't you take those sails off the ship?" So then he issues the command to take the sails down, to fan sails, just like dealing with just a bunch of rich Karens, so to speak. You know. So,
Yeah, and then but you kind of I believe he's an arms dealer.
right.
The arms dealer and I can't remember his wife or his girlfriend. You
Oh
kinda,
yeah, everybody was different. So
Yeah.
like, all the rich people weren't horrible, you know.
But that was the thing that was interesting to me. I mean, you like the Marxist and you like the arms dealer, kind of.
Right.
And it had a lot to say about, like you said, about politics and about,
Just social commentary too.
class. The class system is very evident in the whole thing. But
It's just so absurd too. Just
yeah, but
vomiting so much.
oh, there was like that. But it's kind of like in Monty Python and the Meaning of Life. You know, the vomiting after a while, you're like so used to it just gets funny.
Continue to gross you
Mr.
out.
Creosote.
Yes, like Mr. Creosote.
But anyway, that was 2022 Triangle of Sadness.
All right, well, I'm going to recommend something very, very different.
How fast you pulled this out? All right.
Well, I was just thinking, okay, what favorite movies I have not recommended? 1955, Robert Mitchum in Night of the Hunter.
Okay.
Robert Mitchum, Shirley Winters, and two child actors, and
Shelley Winters or
Shelley Winters.
Shelley Winters.
Shelley
Okay.
Winters, and she is the abused wife. He is the psychotic preacher who marries her because he finds out he's been in jail with her husband, and he tells them, and he gets executed. But he has told Robert Mitchum's character about the money he has stolen, and Robert Mitchum marries her to get the money, and the boy has hidden the money somewhere that he has stolen. And from there on out, Robert Mitchum you're worried about the children because he's going to do something. He's going to kill them, just like he's going to kill their mom to get this money.
Wow.
And it turns into like sort of a journey movie. And Lillian Gish is in it, old silent movies actress, and she is wonderful. The whole movie is scary as all get out. It's the only thing that Charles Lawton, the director, the actor, the only thing he directed.
What's the name of it again?
The Night of the Hunter.
The Night of the Hunter.
Yes, and it has parts that are terrifying. It's got some funny parts in it too, but it is wonderful. If you've never seen it, it's another movie that didn't do well when it came out. It was, I think, it was too dark.
Yeah, sounds pretty dark.
And there's a very surreal section in it where the kids are trying to escape on a boat, and the little girl starts kind of singing out of nowhere.
Oh.
And you'd love it. It's really creepy and fun.
Is it black and white, though?
It is black and white, but it uses it would be a different movie in color because they use the contrast in the black and white. There's a scene where the kids are hiding in a barn loft, and Robert Mitchum is like walking across the hill. They see him in silhouette, and it is one of the most creepy, unnerving scenes of all time.
All right.
But yeah, I think if you've never seen it, you need to see it.
Okay. John T. Baker, have you got a movie?
I don't have a movie. I'm going to re-recommend a TV show that I recommended in an earlier episode because when I recommended it before, we had just started it.
Okay.
And I have found that it is just so on point. And it's the TV show. It's on Paramount, and it's called The Good Fight. Okay. And it's a spinoff of The Good Wife, which was Juliana Margulies. This one is Christine Baranski is the main
Okay.
character, and she's a Broadway actress, and she's just amazing. But the whole series starts with Donald Trump getting elected, and
You mean 2016 Donald?
well, yeah,
Whenever?
yes,
Okay.
like when he first gets elected, and Donald Trump plays in every episode,
Okay.
and it's really on point. It's just really well done show.
Okay.
Plays into every episode. He's not actually acting on it.
Well, there are scenes of him on television.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
wow.
using his voice and his likeness.
Interesting.
Is it Paramount Plus? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Huh.
But my wife and I continue to be impressed by how good it is.
Cool.
The Good Fight.
The Good
Christine
Fight.
Baranski. Cool. All
Will do.
right. Music?
Music.
Music.
Well, I'm going to recommend a Christmas song or Christmas collection that you can find on Bandcamp. It's Magic Hustle. It's Little Iffy, and How the Gift Card Ruined Christmas. And there's also another song on there called Put Me on the Naughty List.
Okay.
And if you're offended by foul language, don't listen. But it is loads and loads of fun. Little Iffy is an adult who's in his 30s when he sings this, and his heart is broken because his grandmother gave him a Christmas card rather than a gift.
Oh, okay.
And it's really funny. And Put Me on the Naughty List is kind of self-explanatory. Playboy Man Baby, the hype man for Little Iffy, for the Magic Hustle thing, he has the main vocals on that. And
Okay.
It's loads of fun.
Okay.
Both of them.
This is not a new album. It's just one that I had never listened to before. And we have discussed Fleetwood Mac a bunch in here.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, I think, associate Fleetwood Mac with the Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks era of pop music.
Mm-hmm.
But in their original carnation, they were a hard blues band. And the very first Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, if you heard it, you wouldn't think Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's really good blues music. And they put out several albums like that
Okay.
prior to, and then went through several other guitar players before they ended up with Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. And they went through quite a metamorphosis over the course of their career.
Indeed.
Great stuff. Peter Green is one of the all-time great guitarists.
He's a fantastic blues guitar player, and I think he ended up being kind of an acid casualty.
Yeah,
I think he had some just mental health issues.
That, and he joined a religious cult, and
he did?
he went through a lot of different things.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did that too. I think he was with Children of God. I think it was,
Anyway, worth exploring.
definitely. And my favorite Fleetwood Mac song is probably still the Green Monolith with the two-pronged crown, which is, I think, his last thing with them.
I don't think I've heard that.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It's
I'll
on.
look it up.
Hey, I haven't heard that.
I'm not. Actually,
not-
you might like it, but it's a lot of guitar.
Oh.
But you might like it. It's
Okay.
hard to tell. I mean, that's from the album and then Play On, but it was released as a single and didn't do that well. But it was at the height of his acid casualtiness, and he quit the band right after that.
Okay.
Started giving away all his money.
Well, I want to talk about a band that's very dear to me. It's called Ivy. And they were popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. I heard they broke up. I heard they might have a new album coming out. But in their peak time there, it was two Americans, musicians, Adam Schlesinger and Andy Chase.
That's
Adam
the guy.
Schlesinger is-
He's from Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah.
And French singer Dominique Durand. And she has that cool kind of disaffected, sort of surrealistic singing. And Schlesinger and Chase are just like banging out all kinds of variety of music. But one thing I like about them is they sort of have this overriding theme, or one thread of a theme that's basically a wake-up call to people who are just settling for mediocre things, mainly mediocre relationships, either with someone else or with friends or whatever. You can apply it however you want. Just kind of, you get what you settle for. And they have a lot of different music, but like the first time they hit it was with their first album. they had a song called "You Don't Know Anything." There's like all this festering like electric guitar work and everything, and then she just kind of sails in over the whole mix, and she's talking about how, I just got your letter and you used to know me so well, but now I can tell you don't know anything. So she's breaking up with this guy, and then later they have a song called Undertow, which is very hypnotic, and it's the musicians. It's not just her. The musicians just shift the platform from thing to thing, and then she comes in, sails across the top of it, no matter what the music is. And it's but Undertow is about you can't fight the undertow, not when you're all alone, and all. But then one song that I really like is called "Lucy Doesn't Love You." And these guys, they put together this really peppy jangle, and they got a horn section and everything. And she's even like kind of bouncing around through it and everything. And its song starts with "Nothing's ever gonna make her happy," and she goes on to "Lucy doesn't love you, not like you want her to. Some dreams don't come true. Lucy doesn't love you." But again, it's like I say, they have this kind of theme and this just perspective of flush these mid people, these mid relationships out of your life and shoot for something more.
Just go for excellence.
And it's just great. It's great music, and she's a great singer.
And it's Ivy.
Ivy.
Just Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy. Just Ivy. And I think they had the first album was Apartment Life. Their last, I think, was Long Distance, and there was another one in between. But they were great. I think they should have been much bigger than they were.
I'll definitely have to. With Adam Schlesinger in the band, I didn't realize that.
I didn't know he was in the band.
Me neither.
They kind of emphasized her, because she's attractive and French, and and all that stuff.
Well, he was an early COVID casualty.
Oh wow!
He was only in his 40s.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't know if that new album's coming out then, unless they replay. I read something earlier this year, but and maybe it is out at this point. But anyway, okay. Well, is that it? We done everything?
I think it is.
All right. Well,
there's a helicopter flying over.
And there's a helicopter flying over to say, all right, time's up. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you later.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, art, culture, movies, whatever they want to talk about. How We Heard It was recorded in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Arbor Studio by John Baker. If you believe you've been abducted by aliens during the listening to this podcast, we take no responsibility for that. How We Heard It is a Tear Owl production, and if you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne, send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. Come on back next week and we'll have another show for you.